warm here, so I've been out early. Hopefully the birds don't get in the way, so I just thought I'd sit in the breeze. Yeah, I was out early this morning with the dog. You can see a little short of it if you look. And actually I went out late last night stargazing. God knows why. Anyway, so if you like these, like and subscribe. So someone I chat to, girl actually, sort of early 20s, chat to her sometimes, and she sent me a message, saying, and she's been messaging me for a while, and she said how awful her job was. She went through an apprenticeship, quite highly skilled I believe, saying she's thinking about going self-employed doing a specific thing, but she's scared she won't get enough customers, and I sort of put her towards the video I did about self-employed, and I thought actually I'll do a few not just dedicated to her but to other people as well, because I think it's kind of important to have a think about what you're doing. So, and I'm going to do it in little stages to keep it nice and short. So the first thing is, so you're thinking about becoming self-employed or starting a small business. Great. First thing to think about is are you doing it because you're in a toxic workplace and you can't see another way out? In that case scenario, are you better off just looking for another job and sort of applying for lots of jobs elsewhere and just even in another area and starting again? Possibly you are. Biggest thing with self-employment, when you're desperate to get out of a job and out of a toxic workplace, you could make the wrong decision or go into self-employment too fast. If you've got a job right now, you're securely employed, a lot to be said for that, but doesn't mean to say you can't go self-employed. You've just got to plan. So first thing, and I'm kind of bearing this in mind for this particular person, but it could be for anybody. First thing is have you got the support of the people around you, i.e. People you live with? Have you got their support? You could go self-employed and just be, I call living on your own, not really needing support of anybody. Great. If you're living on your own, you've got a few friends around you, don't understand why you're going self-employed. You don't have to tell them, do you really? You could just do your own thing, go self-employed, that's it. Do you know what I mean? But you need the support of, if you've got people around you, if you're living with someone, you need their support. You don't necessarily need family support. Be nice. Would be nice, wouldn't it? I certainly didn't. But you need mature, sensible people around you who are, what's it called? In a secure job, really, and who are secure and mature. Now, this particular person, she told me during their chats that she has a boyfriend who is quite immature. She has to mother him. And the other thing is, one particular birthday, he hadn't got her any birthday presents, and the girl was living with her sister, and I don't know, the two couples were living together or something, and the sister took him out to the shop to buy her birthday presents, and they were handed over in a plastic bag. Now, going self-employed, it's going to be stressful for the first few months. You need to keep your head down and keep working. Now, if you're living with someone who you're having to mother, who's acting in that way, are they going to cope with dropping income for a while, struggling for a while, a little bit of stress, and the amount of time it takes to become self-employed? You know, doing the paperwork and everything and just all the excitement. Nah, they're not. They're just going to get jealous, immature, and wreck it for you, and you'll end up worse off. So that's the first thing. Look around you, look at the people you've got around you, and if they're not particularly supportive, and if that how you're living wouldn't sustain becoming self-employed, don't do it. Change that first. Yeah, and that would be the first thing I'd be doing with self-employed, is looking at where I'm living, looking at the people around me. Are they going to support me? Maybe, maybe not. It's okay. You don't really need support, do you know what I mean? But are they going to be are they mature enough to not help you, but to stand with you when you've got all these problems and there's so many stresses of self-employment, etc. Give you a little example of that, and I'm going to do a few videos, so like building up to self-employment and how to do it and stuff, but this is just the first one. So when I first became self-employed, I was with someone else, not my wife now. I was with somebody else. And it was a bit tough, I suppose. Money was tight at times, whatever. And you go through ups and downs. And she was, another relationship didn't last. Lots of reasons why, but one of them was because of work. And I remember once her brother, and of course I should have learnt that lesson myself, and I was in my early 20s then. And she was adopted, her brother was adopted, he was gay. Just awful, just awful. And actually, do you know what, looking back at it now, had I thought back at it, I'd have ended the relationship before becoming self-employed, and I should have done. End of story. Not going to tell the whole story of that yet, but so I had her brother ring me up once, her adopted brother, saying it was about time I got a proper job, stopped living off his sister, and stopped living the way I was. And I was actually quite happy living the way I was. But he was an absolute just, what? And I just went, whatever you say, mate, goodbye. Just hung up, and that was it. Never took his call again. Very difficult. She then blew up and was like, oh, I'm fed up of this, all the stress of being self-employed. Sometimes you work, you earn good money, sometimes you go away, but there's and it was all because she had friends around her who just, they had boyfriends, husbands or whatever, who were working in 9 to 5, boring in offices, and also it was a class thing. She was from a very, very middle class sheltered background, and I'm not. End of story. So there was that going on as well, and it's just not how I wanted to live my life. I didn't want to live my life that way. So yeah, first thing you've got to do is just think about the people around you. Are they going to be mature enough to stand by you while you're going through all the stress of building up self-employed? You're not going to be instantly rich. You're going to struggle for a good couple of years, probably financially. Are they going to stand by you doing that? And also, are they mature enough? And then also, once you make a success of it, are they mature enough to then sit back? They might be doing the job. I don't know what they might. Are they going to be mature enough to sit back and realise you've made it a success of your life? You've made a success of something. You're making possibly more money than them. You're bringing in good money. Are they mature enough to be able to do that? Are they mature enough to be able to kind of say, yeah, okay, you've got to work another 3 hours today because the job's gone wrong for you. You need to earn that money. Are they going to be mature enough to say, yeah, okay, no problem, I'll put the washing on, I'll put the washing out, I'll do the cleaning, there'll be a meal here waiting for you? Are they going to do that? Because you're going to need, if you're living with someone, you're going to need that. If you're living alone, it's fine. You wing it, don't you? You just make sure you've got clean clothes and whatever, and you just do yourself a little microwave meal or something. But is this person going to do all of that for you? Because if not, they're going to drag you down, and you won't succeed. You don't need to be with someone supportive, but if you're with someone, you need them to be certainly just not immature, not a little kid. It's real life. But yeah, and also make sure that you're not just in a toxic working environment that you're desperate to get out of, and you're going to make a desperate move that doesn't pay off, when you could have just kind of stuck with what you're doing and sort of apply for other jobs, thinking outside the box. So that's my first thing on self-employment. I'll do another one about the next little stage I would be doing if I was self-employed. Alright, take care.